What's an encounter with a celebrity you've had where they were an absolute dick? Vivica Ray Fox. I used to be a bartender at a hotel, and she came in with a guy late one night after an event. He ordered a drink for himself and a house red for her, so I turned to her and asked if she preferred cab or maillet. She gave me the dirtiest look, like how dare I address her directly, and flounced off to a table without answering. He said just give her red, whatever, and left a 0 tip. They ordered 4 ounce, no tip each time. They also complained that someone else came in and sat at a table near them and tried to get me to make them move. The other guests didn't even try to approach her or talk or anything. She was just mad that they dared to sit at a neighboring table. On the other end of the spectrum, Jay Leno came down one night to grab some dinner and a drink at the bar by himself. He was super polite, funny, and left me a $100 tip. Back in the 90s I worked on the stage musical production of Beauty and the Beast. The guy who played the talking clock is an Australian celebrity by the name of Bert Newton. He always used to say hi and make conversation until he found out I was one of the lighting crew. After that, he wouldn't even glance at me. Slightly related. On the same show, I used to hang out with the dude that played Gaston at stage door having a ciggy during interval. I only recently discovered that it was Hugh Jackman. Really nice dude. I went to a convention near my town. It was a sort of cartoon convention and gaming convention combo. On 10 separate occasions I was asked, "Do you know who I am?" Not a single one of them were people I knew. When I expressed this, they all had the same responses, but with different names. My name is Sprinkle Tim, or some equally ridiculous name, and I have over 50,000 subscribers on YouTube/Twitch. Apparently there was a panel being held about how to grow your internet persona. It drew out some of the worst people ever. I wouldn't even call any of these people celebrities, but that was the image they had in their heads. This goes both ways. I ran into Kirstie Alley 25 years ago when Veronica's Close Tea was on. She was quiet but sweet. People came up and wanted photos, but she was with her kids and politely declined, citing her kids. Nearly everyone acted like she had slapped them and turned them down, but she was calm and gracious. Kinda made me sad. Jennifer Lopez. Anyone who has had to arrange for her visits or done military protocol for her USO tours or whatever knows how off the walls batshit crazy she is. She came to visit Ramstein a long time ago, and the general's quarters, the nicest place on a very nice base, weren't good enough for her because everything has to be white. Every single thing. So we frantically found her a hotel room in Frankfurt, 90 minutes away, which was as all white as could be found, and had the pleasure of driving her to slash from multiple times a day while she nagged about making other cars on the autobahn slow down, why her hotel was so far, why she couldn't get her favorite American drinks at a rest stop, etc. She expected Pope and presidential level treatment. She is absolutely horrible, so her attitude matches her music. Probably 10 or 11 years ago, I was working BTS of a WWE house show. My job was to find the contest winners and bring them to introduce them to a couple of the bigger stars. My immediate report went to Ricky Steamboat, who was incredible. I had a question for him, don't remember what it was anymore, but he was standing there talking to Chris Jericho. Not wanting to be rude, I stood to the side, waiting for their conversation to end before I interrupted. Jericho stopped mid-sentence, looked at me, and said, "Are you fucking lost?" When Ricky turned around to see who Jericho was talking to, he recognized me and was super pleasant and answered my question, but Jericho was pissed and thought I was a groupie or something. I was fortunate enough to be involved in a number of films shot in South Africa. I got to meet and greet some well-known celebs, but a few stand out. I will list them in greatest cockwimble to minor cockwimble order. Steven Seagal. Absolute bellend. Was looking for hookers while married, coked out of his head while on set, just a general douche canoe. Kiefer Sutherland. Mama Mia, this guy thought that every time the sun came up it was because he had his pants down to take a shit. Decent enough to the people who directed and mattered to him, Everyone else was treated like dirt. Bob Hoskins. Just generally a bit of a prick, lost his shit at people for the littlest things. Rona Mitra was pretty nice though, friendly and congenial and just so very pretty eye roll. Leonardo DiCaprio was actually much nicer than I would have expected, took his mom with him wherever he went, was very nice to crew and extras, and pretty much everyone. Great attitude too. I'm in the wrong thread, but I have a good guy Mick Jagger story. My dad was a limo driver and often chauffeured celebrity clients. One day he got Mick. The limo got mobbed by screaming fans. They were on all sides, pounding on the glass, climbing on the hood. My dad had never dealt with anything like that and started to panic. Mick reached over the seat from the back, patted my dad on the shoulder and said, "It's alright mate. Just slowly take your foot off the brake. They'll clear off." Mick Jagger soothed my dad through a panic attack. I work at a casino and I see quite a few celebrities. Firstly, Kevin James treated just about every employee like they were wasting his time. Just get it done. JLo was banned from one of the casinos I worked, and Mary-Ann and JLo were both banned from the other. JLo famously told upper management she didn't want poor people looking her in the eyes and wanted any staff that went near her to look down. She also demanded a new mattress in our villa, custom made bed BTW, at 3 AM, then tried to get the casino to essentially break into a mattress store she had and ate Google for the mattress she wanted them to buy. God, I'm gonna be here all night lol. One more. Charles Barkley is the worst gambler I've met in my life. That dude couldn't win a hand if you rigged the deck lol. My sister was at an away wrestling match in Sokol when a guy by himself sat next to her and hardly said a thing the whole time except cheer for his son. After a while he asked her who she was there to see and she said, without looking at him, that she was there to watch her boyfriend, and as she was going to ask who his son was, she looked at him and saw that it was Nicolas Cage in a ball cap. She was stunned and couldn't talk, and he smiled and basically read her mind, then pointed out his son with a proud dad smile. She got very nervous, so he asked her if she wanted to take a picture with him, to which she said yes. Not sure if Nicolas Cage is a bad person or anything, but this encounter made him seem so regular and grounded, being at a public school to proudly watch his son wrestle. I don't understand how she didn't recognize his voice. William Shatner paid for a meet and greet. I fumble for my ticket/token to give to the security guy. It literally took 3 seconds of fumbling. He then yells, "Hurry up will you?" He clearly did not want to be there, took a photo, and shoved me aside. Best celebrity was Ron Perlman, was on the same day. A girl in a wheelchair was in front of me. He gets down onto her level and asks her if she is enjoying herself and really gave off the vibe like he gave a shit. He came up to me and firmly shook my hand with a big smile and gave me a one-armed hug and said thanks for coming by. The dude's a saint. Not my story, but my brother told me this happened to his friend in high school. She went to go see John Mayer live, and she was super hyped because she'd opted for the VIP tickets that let you meet him after the concert. After the concert, and waiting for the time to meet him, John Mayer came out of his room only to say, "If you're not gonna sleep with me, you may as well just go." Real classy fellow, that John Mayer. Was an extra in a comedy sketch with David Walliams and Jack Whitehall. Jack's great but David. They were playing these stuck-up tennis personalities and I, aged 19, was David's ball girl. During one take, he clicked his fingers and beckons me to bring his towel to him. I do so, quickly, as instructed. He wipes his brow and pretty aggressively thrusts the towel back to me. I was unprepared and dropped the thing. He tuts and we cut, try to do the scene again. Same happens, he clicks, I run over, but this time he wipes his sweaty ass in tight shorts as well as his forehead, and then throws the towel back to me, higher this time so it splattered right over my head. I got David Walliams but sweat on my face. He never came over to apologize, never said a single word to any of us extras despite there being very few of us. Honestly the rudest experience I've had with a celebrity in 5 years of film/TV work. Used to work at a Hard Rock hotel. Mariah Carey was the absolute definition of a fucking diva. She used a bunch of employee passageways and we were instructed that if we looked her in the eyes we would get written up. We were also told that we had to immediately vacate any room that she entered, even if we were in the cafeteria on break or in the bathroom doing our business. She's an asshole on top of that too. A few of her backup dancers accused her of sexual assault during #METOO and nothing ever came of it.